We are minutes away from the state championship game in Class AA. The man next to me, Sonny Cox, and his Jaguars, undefeated at 31-0, trying to become the first team in 9 years to take the state championship with an unblemished record. And Sonny, would it be fair to say that this trek started last year at this time with that East St. Louis loss in the semis?
Yes, it did. It started right here. We resolved to get back here, and we resolved to go undefeated, and we resolved to win the state championship.
This team is really under control that you have. If somebody comes out, controls the tempo, and gets you in a half-court game, nobody seems to mind. They pass the ball around, wait for their shots.
This is a very talented team. They've been together for 4 years, and we've seen about everything, and we've handled everything they've thrown at us. We think we're ready to go.
They're going to throw a kid named Tom Kleinsmith at you tonight. You've seen him play here earlier. What do you think of his play?
Well, we're going to throw a Jamie Brandon at him, and they better think just as much of Jamie Brandon as they think of Tom Kleinsmith. Kleinsmith is a great player, but great players by themselves don't win ball games. He's going to need some help.
Sonny, you were here at the mountaintop, 1986. You know the feeling. You know, they say, like in golf, the first one's not exactly easy, but the second one's harder. Your feeling on a possible second state championship?
Oh, I don't even think about the first one. I just think about the task at hand today. Maybe later on I'll think about that.
Okay, Sonny, good luck to you tonight, sir. That is Sonny Cox of the Chicago King Jaguars, and they will be facing, of course, Gordon Tech. The Rams are 30-1, and Steve Pappas is back at it again. A tough ball game against Quincy this afternoon. You barely had time to catch your breath.
Yeah, the Blue Devils played a great game against us, and I think, you know, it was one of the best played games that we played in all year long. And I'm just glad we got a chance to do the things we did in the second half to get the job done and get ourselves in this position tonight.
Now, let me ask you a personal question. Now, you've been in a championship game yourself back in the NAI as a player, and you won that ball game. The difference from the sideline perspective?
Well, it's not that much different. I mean, the enthusiasm and all the anticipation, the excitement involved with it is very similar. And I just tried to share some of those things that I remember from that experience with our kids, all the way from the trip down here to all the preparation and the talks and everything else. I think that's helped me communicate some of those things to the kids as well.
Have you ever played against a team as big and as talented as the one you're about to take on?
No, never. This is obviously a huge undertaking for us. We're going to do everything we can do, adjustment-wise, to try to get the game into our style of game. But there's no question about it. This is a phenomenal team we're up against. They've got the whole package, and we're just going to do everything we can do to just try to, you know, win the game.
Is it hard not to run against a team like King? Because when you get an opening, you want to push the ball up the floor, and then suddenly you got 3 or 4 transitions, and voila, maybe there's a run.
Well, that's our game, is to run. But the problem here is that you have to be so focused on keeping them off the boards that sometimes you forget about running. And we talked about that with the kids. You know, let's find a body and keep them off the boards, but let's not forget about running the court. You know, this isn't a superhuman team. You know, they're human beings too. So if we can do those things, then I think we're in good shape.
The bigger the game, the bigger the performance, or so it seems from the young Mr. Kleinsmith.
Yeah, well, Tommy's been like that all season long. We're not 30-1 because of, you know, there's a lot of reasons why we're 30-1, but he's the main reason. There's no question about it. He's a superstar, and whenever we've had to call on, you know, Tommy to come up big for us, if tonight's game, you know, is going to be close in the end, we feel we have a great shot, as we have all year long, because of Tom Kleinsmith.
Coach, I know you're going to be busy, but enjoy this. You're where you dream to be.
Thanks very much.
That is Coach Steve Pappas of Gordon Tech. We're coming back with tonight's game and some more interviews, but first let us pause for these messages.
The Executive Secretary of the Illinois High School Association. Listen, as we talk, we got a couple of pretty fair country basketball teams warming up out here, don't we?
Well, I think they're probably two of the best in the country. Actually, if you can believe the polls, you know, King is rated number 1, and Gordon Tech's not far behind.
I'll tell you, at Gordon Tech program, we are so used to their success in football, and a kid named Kleinschmidt comes along, and a good supporting cast, and they're a basketball power again.
Well, I think so, and the fact is he's only a junior. I think he's going to get better, but he's truly one of the outstanding players that we've had here in history of the tournament.
Jaguars would be, if they would win tonight, they'd probably hold on to their number 1 national rating. Last team in Illinois to do that probably would be that Quincy club, wouldn't it, after Thornridge?
I think that is correct, Art, that the last Quincy club was number 1. Now this will be the
that'd be Vernon Payne and those guys at Quincy, Douglas's.
The Douglas boys, yeah.
Liz, you have to be happy with the crowds. Last week, I know you were very happy with the A turnout. Good double A turnout.
Yes, we've had good turnout, and I think basketball this year in Illinois from the beginning of the tournament, the inception, till now, has been improving quite a bit over last year. In fact, I've got statistics that say that our total attendance will probably be up 20 or 30,000, Art.
Well, that's great. We urge people, hey, get out and see your local high school ball club next season. You're missing a good show if you don't.
Well, you're missing one of the best.
Liz, I guess the other question concerning the tournament tonight, as the executive secretary, you don't dare have a favorite, but what kind of a basketball game do you look for?
Well, I look for a great game, and I'm just going to sit back and enjoy it, Art, like anyone else.
Will it be physical?
I don't know. The answer to that always is, according to most people, the officials let it get physical. I don't know whether it will be that way or not.
All spoken like a former official. Liz, good to see you. Thanks for a great show again this weekend.
Thanks, Art.
Liz Astroth, the executive secretary of the Illinois High School Association, our guest. Now to the bench, and Frank Massoni. Frank?
Thank you very much, Art. We're just moments away now from the introduction of the lineups here at the Assembly Hall. And Coach Mel Rustio, this is a team 31 and zip 30-1. There's not a lot to be chosen in the records. Two leading scorers in the tournament are in the game. Jamie Brandon is second. Tom Kleinschmidt is first. And yet you go around the Assembly Hall and people are acting like this game is as one-sided as a hanging. I mean, what's the deal?
Well, I think because King comes in with such impressive credentials, I think many people, because of the reputation of East St. Louis Lincoln, felt that the game between Lincoln and of East St. Louis and King decided this championship. But this championship title game has to be played. You've got two great offensive ball players. They're both creators. Tom Kleinschmidt for Gordon Tech creates. Jamie Brandon creates for King.
Let's take a look now, if we can, at some of the facts about these two schools. Gordon Tech, vocational, 3,892 boys from the Chicago Catholic League. So we have the Catholic League 30-1 against the Public League in our title game tonight. In Chicago on St. Patrick's Day has a party at the Assembly Hall. There are the Jaguars. They're unbeaten. The black and gold. They got here by beating Westinghouse in that Public League title game, then on West Aurora, and then Lincoln, East St. Louis. Teams look like this on the comparisons. Coach, anything there?
Pretty even all the way around, really, when you look at King has that impressive 63% field goal shooting, but a lot of that, Frank, is because they get a lot of easy shots with such a powerful inside ball club. But other than that, it's a pretty even matchup.
You wonder if Jamie Brandon will be the guy that gets most of the shots again for King, or whether Gordon Tech will try to focus on him defensively.
Well, Jamie Brandon owns the baseline. He's a versatile ball player. He's inside, he's outside, he's everywhere for Chicago King. Makes things happen for that ball club.
Tom Kleinschmidt is his counterpart, of course. And, you know, look at the one comparison that you can talk about is both Brandon and Kleinschmidt play both inside and out. And here's another example of Brandon at his best in the transition.
Well, I think that's it. You know, they're both versatile ball players. They both can make things happen for themselves and for their teammates, and they have the respect of their teammates. They're the clutch ball players. They're the players that play at the top peak performance in crunch time.
Is he going to be Mr. Basketball, and is there a future Mr. Basketball?
Well, certainly you could make a great case for that, a future Mr. Basketball, since Tom Kleinschmidt is yet but a junior, and he's so composed. You had an opportunity to chat with him a little bit during that third place game. He was dressed and ready to go midway through the third place game.
You know, that's an amazing thing. I went down at halftime, was standing in the tunnel, came up, and here I look up, and he's standing next to me in full uniform, talking about the game that's going on, and he's ready to play, and it's an hour before the game.
But calm, poised, collected.
Very much so. Very much so. It's really going to be an exciting title game, and it's time to meet the players. Here's our public address announcer, Steve Adams.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing the coaches and players for tonight's Class AA State Championship game, featuring the Rams of Chicago Gordon Tech and the Jaguars of Chicago King. First, introducing Gordon Tech High School of Chicago, entering this game with a record of 30-1. The head coach in his 5th season, Steve Pappas. Assistant coaches, Merle Siefkin and Al Stasiak. And now let's meet the players. Number 4, a 5'4" senior, Mark Jurasic. Number 10, a 5'5" junior, James Abaldo. Number 12, a 5'11" junior, Dan Hernandez. Number 20, a 5'11" junior, Arthur Molson. Number 24, a 6' junior, Arthur Stewart. Number 32, a 6'3" junior, Jareen Anderson. Number 40, a 6'4" junior, Scott Gerner. Number 50, a 6'6" senior, Kevin Powers. Number 52, a 6'4" senior, Anthony McGowan. And number 54, a 6'5" junior, Bernard Hobson. And now, let's meet the starting lineup for the Rams of Gordon Tech. At one forward, a 6'5" junior, 34, Tom Kleinschmidt. The other forward is a 6'4" junior, number 30, Antoine Gillespie. At center, a 6'5" senior, 42, Keith Starr. One of the guards is a 6'1" junior, number 14, Jason Bay. And the other guard is a 6'2" senior, 22, Brian Allen. And those are the Rams of Chicago Gordon Tech. And now introducing the Jaguars of King High School of Chicago, who enter this game with a record of 31-0. The head coach in his 9th season, Landon Cox. Assistant coach, Benny Parrott. And now the players for King, number 11, a 5'10" freshman, Michael Irvin. Number 12, a 5'10" senior, Mark Winters. Number 15, a 5'10" sophomore, Anthony King. Number 21, a 6'6" freshman, Kaim Cunningham. Number 22, a 6'3" freshman, Gerard Billingsley. Number 24, a 6'6" senior, Anton Little. Number 25, a 6'3" junior, Noah Meller. Number 30, a 6'9" freshman, Thomas Hamilton. Number 31, a 6'10" senior, Damian Porter. And number 32, a 6'6" junior, Sylvester Ware. And now for King's starting lineup at one forward, a 6'7" senior, number 20, Johnny Selvey. At the other forward, a 6'4" senior, 23, Jamie Brandon. At center, a 6'11" freshman, 54, Richard Griffith. At one of the guards, a 6'3" senior, number 13, Ahmed Sharif. And at the other guard, a 5'10" senior, number 10, Fred Schofield. Those are the Jaguars of King High School of Chicago. And now introducing the officials for tonight's championship game. Jim Lapatina of Addison and Bo Paprocki of Arlington Heights.
The championship game is next. Now this from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers. The championship trophy will go north. it will be to the Public League or the Catholic League. And there you see the field of the Elite Eight. The keys to this game tonight, Coach?
Gordon Tech has to control the boards, got to shoot well from the outside. If the ball game ends up to be a transition game and ends up to be a board game, King's going to be there. They got to stop. King has to stop the perimeter shooting and the creation of a Tom Kleinschmidt.
Gordon Tech wears the orange trimmed in white. King wearing white trimmed in black and gold. Gordon Tech's coach talked a lot about blocking out on the boards, but everybody does against King. They talk about it. Can you do it?
You've got to do it. They're very physical.
Tempo will be interesting. Gordon Tech likes to run. Will they run with the Jaguars?
You know, you anticipate that they would, Frank, and yet that plays into King's strength. The more rebounds in the game, the stronger King becomes.
Man-to-man, Gordon Tech. Griffith for two.
Big kid's going to be a dynamite player in the next 3 years when he posts down like that.
King plays zone almost exclusively. Gordon Tech plays man-to-man, period. In the tournament, that's all they played. Gillespie's shot was deflected.
First of maybe many block shots there. Man-to-man defense again by Gordon Tech.
Brian Allen guards Jamie Brandon. He's guarded all the tough ones. This may be the toughest. Sharif plays the corner. They play behind Griffith on the block. Brandon posts. That's what Gordon Tech wants to do, is get on the board. King got one crack that time. Allen spots up. Three. Too long. Gillespie, offensive rebound.
No hesitation on Gordon Tech to put the ball up. Second block shot.
Gillespie has tried three, blocked twice.
Frank, when King was loosening up right before they came out, I saw lots of smiles, lots of glad hands. They seem to be a lot looser than they have been the first two games down here.
The seniors have a sip of vintage confidence, I think, and they've done it in the early games. Starr missed.
Gordon Tech's going to have to shoot a good percentage, Frank, in the early going.
King typically gets out and buries somebody early. Griffith posting. Starr trying to front him. Sharif. Look at Brandon on the board. Easy layup, but he's fouled.
You know, Griffin is really feels he's got a mismatch down below with Starr guarding him, but I'm not too sure he's not in the lane more than 3 seconds. He's posting down there for a long time. Let's keep an eye on that as this game unfolds.
Even if you do box out, they have so much height. They can still go up over.
The manner in which the game will be called will have a bearing on it. If it's a physical and you can make a lot of bumping in there, it's going to be the King's advantage.
Brandon shoots it in. Kleinschmidt hasn't touched the ball offensively yet. King leads by 3.
Most teams would come in against a powerful team like King thinking patience, but when the fast break transition game has gotten you there, you got to go with it.
Jason Bay plays the point. 14. Kleinschmidt just plays all over the court. Allen on the move. Allen was stripped. There's your first jump ball possession arrow of the game.
Goes to Gordon Tech on the possession.
You like the rule?
Oh, yeah. Very much so. Very much so. Speeds the game up. I think it's a fair administration of a situation.
There's the zone for King. Sharif and Schofield are the guards, play up top of it. Selvey, Griffith, and Brandon on the baseline. So far, Gordon Tech can't penetrate. Kleinschmidt, his first shot. Rebound in the lane. Gillespie steps in, puts it up and out, but a foul.
He's got the first offensive rebound that Gordon Tech has gotten, and they got fouled in the act of it. It's an important aspect of the ballgame. You see the trying to create there is Tom Kleinschmidt. He's off with his shot. They go to the offensive board. Gillespie is fouled. We have 2 now.
6'4" junior.
They need to get the lid off the basket to kind of loosen him up here a little bit, Frank.
Missed a pair. And So far in this tournament, Gordon Tech has started cool in every game.
Watch the matchup down low. Number 42, Keith Starr, trying to defend the 6'10" freshman Griffin inside. That's certainly a mismatch.
Lob inside, Kleinschmidt stripped Selvey. Kleinschmidt goes by his man on the left. Stop and pop.
There's a guy that can get the lid off for you. Under control, great defense at this end. Gets the first basket for his team down at this end.
Sharif beat everybody. Sharif took the ball and went 80 feet with it.
Sharif's a great athlete. You know, we noticed last year when we did these games that he had an outstanding tournament. He's a fine compliment to Jamie Brandon.
Well, Landon Cox paid him quite a compliment when he said, simply, we can't play without him.
Well, you know, you have those ball players, and not everybody's going to get all the press. It just doesn't work that way. It's not spread around. Maybe it should be. But here's kind of the unsung hero of this ball club.
He's so coordinated at 6'3". He looks like he could play any sport.
He's steady. He's a steady performer. You can expect things from him.
King 6, Gordon Tech 2. And the Rams bring it up. Believe me, the Rams think they can win this game.
Oh, certainly. Certainly. And they can.
Skip pass, Kleinschmidt layup.
Nice back door. They flooded one side of his own defense, threw back to Kleinschmidt on the weak side, and he got the easy 2.
Kleinschmidt has the first 4 for the Rams. Transition game. Jamie Brandon.
The importance of finishing off. When you're an athlete of Jamie Brandon's caliber, you can do that, Frank. He was just hanging in the air waiting for the foul to come. It came, and then he finished his shot off, and he's got a potential 3.
The strength. Brandon stays right there. Takes the bang. Look at the shoulders.
University of Illinois fans will be glad when this whole NCAA investigation is behind him to anticipate a young man like this on this floor for the next 4 years.
Playing with Deion Thomas, among others. Rebound, Selvey, missed point blank. Kleinschmidt has it. First quarter. 4:37 left. Frank Bissoni and Coach Mel Rustio with Jim Albrecht. Kleinschmidt a 3, followed by Bay on the floor to the running Brandon. Jamie turns and scores.
Most ball players with that kind of speed would have charged Tom Kleinschmidt, who was set, but Jamie Brandon stopped on the dime, went up, and laid it in.
Important early trip for the Rams. It's 10-4 King. Bay a 3. Sharif, 2-on-1 King. Sharif lobs, Selvey missed the dunk. Rebound, Selvey again. Yes.
Nice lead pass to Selvey. He did miss the dunk, but he stayed in there and got the missed shot, put it up and in.
12-4, and Steve Pappas is letting his players play through this early deficit. Starr had to adjust it in the air and got it down.
Maybe the adjustment helped the shot a little bit. Big basket for them, though. Big basket. Broke a little run here that King was experiencing.
Jamie Brandon's off with 6 early points. He's the second leading scorer in the tournament to Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt came in with 98.
You know, when you see your ball club facing a run like that, like Coach Pappas was, you hate to burn those only timeouts you have, those 4. They're precious to you, especially when you're playing against a powerful team like King.
Neither one of these teams has lost since the 1st of December. 54, Bernard Hobson, the 6'5 junior, comes in for Gordon Tech. And Damian Porter, 6'10", 270, replaces Griffith. And when Landon Cox said he had to take his big guy out and Porter helped him, he meant Griffith, the big guy. Porter, 70, didn't qualify.
It's a little guy.
Here's the high-low post. Selvey's in there. No goal. He walked.
He did walk. He did travel. Porter looked well for him in there with that little high-low move, as you called. And, boy, they can play that with that lineup.
Coach Cox has got what he calls a Buffalo lineup, too, and that's with both of those guys together in there. That's his word.
I'll tell you what. There's some physical youngsters when you put both of them on the floor.
They've got a 6'9" Hamilton on the bench too. Nice move inside to Hobson, and Bernard Hobson brings Gordon Tech within 4.
He did that this afternoon against Quincy. Instant offense really helped his team.
Well, was enabled by the nice pass inside. I think Porter just got turned around and lost the man on the baseline.
Bay is a good
Hobson is
defensive
hurt.
player.
Hobson is hurt.
Hobson turned an ankle. I think he stepped on somebody's foot coming down court. It was away from the basketball, obviously.
Conzo Martin of Lincoln came into this tournament hurt. Todd Wemhaner of Quincy, the star, with 22 points in a game earlier today, went out injured. And here's another.
Hopefully this one's not serious. He did walk off on his own power. Maybe he'll be back. No problem.
There's timeout on the court. 2:34 to play in the opening quarter with King in the lead. Let's take timeout for one of your network sponsors, Country Company. In the game for the championship already, 6'5" junior Bernard Hobson there, 54. An early injury for Gordon Tech. And Hobson has gone into the tunnel. Hopefully he'll be back.
I'm sure they're going to ice it maybe a little bit and wrap him and get him back out here if he can. And that's something you probably don't want to stay on or stay off of. You want to get back on it.
One difference in the attempts, even in the goals.
I would suspect both teams will warm up to the occasion and shoot better as this game progresses.
What kind of a goal do you set for your team field goal percentage-wise when the season starts? What do you want to shoot to be successful?
You know, I think you got to shoot any day. And nowadays you got to shoot at least 49 to 53% as a team to have any chance of success.
Boy, Kleinschmidt took the rebound away from Damian Porter after Brandon's miss. Kleinschmidt does a lot of things. On the wing, Sylvester, let's just check that. Jareem Anderson, 32, replaced Hobson.
2-3 zone defense. A patented defense by Chicago King.
Kleinschmidt's open on the left wing. Now he roams the baseline. They're going to try to pop him out. Selby's watching him. Gillespie gets in. Kleinschmidt rebounds and scores.
Kleinschmidt, big weak side board on the offensive board. And you need some of those baskets, Frank, if you're going to stay with this club.
The Rams are within 2. Schofield, the point. Look at the post battle in there. Porter tries to get position on one side, and Selvey goes against Kleinschmidt. Kleinschmidt fronts him now. The lob over him. Kleinschmidt takes it away. You could see they were going there.
Good defense by Tom Kleinschmidt.
Bay forced the pass. King has the ball back. King trying to become the season's #1 team in the nation. And Selvey smacked it.
There's Jamie Brandon creating and making others around him even better and better. You know, the Gordon Tech Ball Club needs to use half passes just as they use there, the bounce pass.
Gillespie at 1 minute makes it a 14-12 King lead.
When you're going against the big guys, you got to play the game down a little lower to the floor.
Jareem Anderson comes off the bench and finds himself playing man-to-man against Jamie Brandon. Brandon wheels it in.
Brandon is so quick, has so many skills.
He has 8. He had 28 in the quarterfinals, then 27 more. One shot it'll be for the Rams. Down by 4. And looking confident.
Looking very confident. You know, this is they're not a ball club that panics. They did this earlier in the day in the semifinal against Quincy. They were trailing and they would go for the one, be patient, and trail for most of that game.
Great pass by Kleinschmidt, and Starr knocked it in. With 4 seconds, King can get a shot. It'll be Brandon with 1. He let it go. At the end of a sizzling quarter at the Assembly Hall, it's King by 2. Now this from one of your network sponsors, True Value Hardware. Landon Cox has built this team on the shoulders of 2 seniors, Jamie Brandon and Johnny Selvey.
Well, there's Jamie just finishing off, or Selvey finishing off with Jamie Starr, a nice dump pass. Watch this. Watch these St. Louis defenders jump out thinking the ball is going to go outside, and a nifty pass inside to Keith Starr for the easy layup shot to bring Gordon Tech within 2. And Frank, a good first quarter for Tech.
Very good. Bernard Hobson
back on the bench. Maybe he's ready for action. Available for duty.
opportunity.
All right, second quarter underway.
Gordon Tech man-to-man as they have been throughout this tournament.
Sharif looks in. He's got Griffith. He's got a 5-foot turnaround. Griffith takes one step, and he's...
The big guy's got soft touch.
Remember this afternoon, East St. Louis Lincoln was within 2 after the first quarter.
On the wing, Kleinschmidt deep in the corner now. He sees over the zone. There's another pass inside. Starr steps in for another 2.
You know, he was not intimidated. Starr took the ball right down to the basket, and that's what you have to do. You've got to get something, come up with a layup or a couple free throws.
In the early going, it's Brandon and Kleinschmidt, 8 and 6. Sharif, stop and pop, it doesn't go. Brandon.
Jamie Brandon has such a nose for the ball. Goes to the offensive board so well.
Landon Cox, who once headed a jazz group. Musician.
Didn't know that.
Absolutely.
Been enlightened so much by you and James over here, Frank. It's amazing.
Brandon's between the rings and in control. 7 minutes, second quarter. King by 2. Sharif missed, but Griffith didn't. Volleyball.
Volleyball is right. Just an easy one. Just an easy one.
Griffith has 6. The average is 9. And that many rebounds. Kleinschmidt a 3 on the way. Gordon Tech can't get a 3 to go. Starr throws it up and he's fouled. Foul is on Rashard Griffith.
This is the most active we've seen Starr in the 3 games thus far he's played in down here.
He's a tough defensive player, and he's got in on the offense this time.
Missed the shot here, rebounded by Starr, keeps it alive, goes back up, draws the foul, and his activeness inside is a welcome sight, I'm sure, for Gordon Tech fans against this awesome group from Chicago King.
Starr is 6'5" and 195 and threw up a brick that time.
Don't violate, don't push.
Gordon Tech has shown more patience in this game, and wisely so, than any they played thus far, Frank.
See him adjust and just drill the next one. So it's a 3-point King lead. Some trapping pressure by the Rams. King takes good care of the ball. The strength helps him. Sharif playing in the corner.
Got a battle going on inside with Kleinschmidt with the big guy, Griffith.
King might have got away with 3 seconds that time. Keep the ball. Brandon missed a pair. Griffith rebounds and scores. 8 points.
Somebody once said showing up is 80% of life. Just hanging around the basket bin can be good.
Oh, Gillespie just blew by his man in the lane and couldn't get it to drop. Antoine Gillespie, quick first step, freed himself.
Antoine Gillespie is an excellent athlete.
A lot of coaches don't like to play zone because they kind of lull themselves to sleep. The players do. They don't really move a lot. But in King's case, I think they almost have to play a zone because of that height. They're forcing you to go over the top.
Well, that's a good point. And oftentimes, even if they played a man-to-man, you would see a young man like Griffin just hang in the lane, let his assignment go outside, and just be the intimidator in the lane. You've seen the great ones, the Wilt Chamberlains and the pros, etc. They're just hanging that lane. They're a one-man zone.
Gillespie hits it. Another reason for the zone, too, is because they call a lot of fouls in many high school games. And man-to-man will get you more fouls.
Well, and unfortunately, too, you have to be persistent and you have to be patient to teach the good man-to-man defense. And a lot of times, you know, we as coaches, they think that, well, we got to get it ready and let's go with the zone or some portion of the zone.
Steal by the Rams. Here they come, all the way for 2. Jareem Anderson makes it a 1-point King lead. And Gordon Tech has not gone to Kleinschmidt every time like some thought they might, and they've stayed right there.
They've shown some balance. They've shown some tenacity on defense, keeping the pressure on.
Griffith, who's had a great first half, plants in there again, turns and fires. Little downhill pop.
That young man was in our program. You'd throw the ball to him every day 1,000 times from each side of the block, each side of the lane. Turn around, shoot. Turn around, shoot.
He has 10 points and 2 fouls. Kleinschmidt. Gillespie, another rebound. And he got held, and that's another foul on King. See if it's on Griffith. If it is, it's 3.
Well, you know, that's the youthful inexperience of a Griffin. You've got to stay at home when you know you can't be jumping up and down. Griffin needs to stay at home.
So it is 3, and so far he stays in. Brian Allen is 22. Starts to move and is double teamed. Gillespie. Yeah, he got the roll.
That guy's a good player. He's been here the whole tournament whenever they needed him.
Remember, he's only a junior. Another guy that's going to be back next year. He had 23 in the opening game here.
Surprising to see Coach Cox leave Griffith in the game with 3 fouls with 4:32 to go here in the second quarter.
Sharif doesn't get it. Kleinschmidt. Now Gordon Tech shoots for the lead. Up ahead. They don't get that, but Gillespie steals and scores. Anderson was loose, and Gillespie converted. Gordon Tech in the lead. Brandon will quickly try to answer. Tipped by Griffith.
Great defense by Kleinschmidt.
Good defense by Kleinschmidt and an excellent box out to keep Griffith off the offensive board.
With quiet coaches at the moment. Brian Allen way outside. The Assembly Hall is getting a little excited. Pretty good house, too.
Yes, it is.
Kleinschmidt. Now Allen. That's a 2. Kleinschmidt tips at it. Gillespie yet another rebound. Antoine Gillespie, an active 6'4" player.
Smart move by Tom Kleinschmidt to bring the ball back out and set the offense again.
Well, he ought to know the rules. His dad's an official and for a long time. Kleinschmidt is going to try it. It's long, and Selby has it. He comes down the court, says, my fault, and takes his position. Next time, he'll drill it.
Oh, he has to take the shot.
Schofield comes left. Into Griffith again. Foul on Kleinschmidt, I believe.
Keep in mind, everybody thought that if Gordon Tech was going to stay in the game, then Kleinschmidt would have to start lighting him up. He's only got 6 points, and his team leads.
And Griffith, who has 10 points, also has 3 fouls.
Chicago King is posting both he and Selvey down low. Selby's been very quiet in the last few minutes, folks. You haven't seen him on the board. You haven't seen him scoring. Very quiet, Johnny Selby.
I wonder if Gordon Tech will go in against Griffith and see if they can get a 4th foul on him.
Porter is ready to check in. I'm sure that's for Griffith.
King down 1. Kleinschmidt on the move. He turns in traffic, and he's fouled, and it's on Selby, I think, or maybe Griffith. If it's Griffith, it's 4.
That's the biggest play of the game so far because Griffith stayed in, as Mel Rustio noted, and because Porter couldn't get in until the dead ball.
Don Griffith, and that is his 4th.
However, Sonny Cox did have ample opportunity to get Porter in there before this 4th foul, did he not?
Yes, he did. He picked it up, I believe he had like 4:28 to go when he picked up that 3rd. We commented then, and he picked it up with a sub waiting to come in.
Kleinschmidt missed. No sooner did we get it out of our mouth. If they go at it, he got his 4th, and now it does change the game a little bit because if Porter is out of sync, isn't playing well, you can't go back to Griffith for a while anyway.
It's a psychological factor, too. A negative one that King deals with, a positive one that Gordon Tech deals with.
Timeout on the court.
Sorry. For the presentation of team and individual awards to the Blue Devils of Quincy Senior High School, who finished 4th, and to the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln High School, who finished 3rd.
Gordon Tech in the lead with 2:44 to play in the first half, and Anthony McGowan, their Bernard Hobson, their 6'5" junior, is now back over there on the bench and looks like he might be available to play in this game.
Well, I'm sure he got a little ice on it. He's probably had it strapped up, taped pretty tightly. And with the adrenaline flowing in that young man's body, I'm sure he'll answer it if at all possible.
One big factor so far, and Mel, you noted it earlier, Jamie Brandon has not been able to get into his offensive flow. He scored a couple of early buckets, and that's it.
50% shooting for Tech.
Well, we said that they had to shoot well to be in the ball game and challenge the possibly more talented and certainly more physical Chicago King team.
Selvey now goes into the block. Sylvester Ware has replaced Damian Porter. They want Selvey to play center for a while. The ball's on the floor. Selvey goes after it. Bay kicks it out. Right to Brandon. A break for King and a deuce there.
Just the roll of the ball on the floor and a break. Got a tie ball game here now.
Kleinschmidt out top. Still zone for King.
Always the 2-3 zone.
Gillespie in the middle of it on offense. I like to flip the ball in there. He's got a good, quick, explosive first step.
Looking for a little hub action out of the center portion of their offense. Trying to go back maybe to the weak side.
Anthony McGowan, a 6'4 senior, is 52 in there. Giving Starr a little rest is Steve Pappas from Grand Canyon and Landon Cox from Governor State.
Playing King is like an old football rule, possession. The more you have it, the less they have a chance to score.
That's important, too. It's a good observation. You know, you have to be patient. Make them play defense. Reduce the number of shots, reduce the number of rebounds.
Kleinschmidt's free. Yes.
Most players would have lost that ball.
That's exactly right. The man has, for the big guy, has nice, soft hands.
A minute and a half in the half.
One point we want to make, Frank, you know, the shot selection of Gordon Tech has been excellent in this first half.
Brandon swirls to the goal. Notice how his strength threw that ball up there just in case, because he knew he was fouled.
You know, there's shot selection, and then there's athletic skill and ability going to the basket. You just saw two extremes.
Jareem Anderson is 32, a 6'3 junior, and Brian Allen will sit.
Everybody in the assembly hall during halftime will go through a mental readjustment as to how they viewed this game as compared to how they viewed it when they started the game. They thought King was going to blow them out.
Brandon missed. He has 10 points. Rebound. Gordon Tech. Bay hurries. McGowan. A nice rebound by Sylvester Ware. Kleinschmidt tried to anticipate the outlet, and he'll have to hurry back. Can't beat Selvey.
Selvey gets up so quickly. We've talked about it before. He almost gets up and floats like a feather up there. He's such a quick leaper, quick jumper.
If you look up dropping it in, that's what he did.
Man-to-man defense here in the closing seconds of this first half being employed by Chicago King.
There's the clock. And the rotation away from the ball is good. We'll see if Kleinschmidt ends up with it, if Tech runs it the way they want to. The Rams would like to go to the locker room with a lead, or no worse, than a tie.
Which one of you fellows writing the script to these championship affairs down here?
It's Frank's week.
Traveling violation on the Rams. That will give King an opportunity.
You know, you'd have to wonder if you had an opportunity to coach at King Ball Club if you might once in a while look at a man-to-man defense with their great quickness.
Brandon beat everybody, a stinger.
Whew. That was a situation just going backdoor immediately against overman play.
That took about 3 seconds. Kleinschmidt gives it up. Gillespie at the buzzer. An impressive first half of high school basketball is in the book. And there you see the Jaguar lead. We'll be back at the Assembly Hall. Let's pause for this from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers. There's your first half score. Tom Kleinschmidt has 9 for Gordon Tech, and Jamie Brandon with a dunk at the halftime buzzer almost to give the Jaguars that 2-point advantage. A very fine first half, and that may surprise some people, and it may be a psychological edge for the Rams insofar as so many people think that you're going to be behind, way behind, when you play King.
Well, I think it surprises a lot of people. It surprises me. I didn't expect this close a game at this point in time. But, you know, we talked about keys at the top of the program, what it would take, and one of them was shooting well. Gordon Tech had to shoot well. I'm sure they're well over 50% in their shooting. Their shot selection has been good. They have held their own, I believe, on the boards, and that's why they're in this ball game, and we've got a 2-point game at the half.
Give you an idea how many great teams there are in the state of Illinois. Gordon Tech, who is right here in this championship game in anybody's ball game, nearly got shot out of here in the first round by Rolling Meadows when Mike Lipniski lit up for 43 points. And so from one end of this state to the other, you see talent and great teams.
Well, Frank, you know, we talk about parity in collegiate basketball. There's parity in high school basketball, and you know, you're as good as your last game out.
As you can see on the floor, two of the historic names in basketball in Illinois, Quincy and East St. Louis Lincoln, are there. It's time to go to Steve Adams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt for the presentation of the 3rd and 4th place team and individual awards for the 1989-90 Boys Class AA State Basketball Tournament. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the 4th place team will be Dr. David Turner of Porter High School in Petersburg, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Mr. William Mitz of Monticello High School in Monticello, who serves the IHSA as secretary of the board. At this time, please meet the Blue Devils of Quincy Senior High School, who finished the season in 4th place with a final record of 26 wins and 7 losses. Meet the principal of Quincy Senior High School, Mr. Robert J. DeVries. Head coach, Jerry Leggett. Assistant coach, Tom Berry. Assistant coach, Gary Handrick. Assistant coach, Shane Barnes. And now the players. Number 50, Chris Wilper. Number 20, Lamar Rudd. Number 5, Derek Banta. Number 32, Tim Johnson. Number 34, Todd Wemhainer. Number 10, Ted Meyer. Number 40, Kevin Bybee. Number 42, Alan Pasley. Number 54, Tom Lepper. Number 3, Scott Noel. Number 12, Chris O'Connell. Number 14, Mark Conover. Number 52, George Millsap. Number 22, Sean Dean. And number 24, Andy Wagoner. And manager, Chris Becker. Those are the Blue Devils of Quincy Senior High School. And now, ladies and gentlemen, presenting medallions to the squad members of the 3rd place team will be Mr. Leroy Newton of Carterville High School in Carterville, who serves the IHSA as Vice President of the board, and Mr. Tom Howard of Fremd High School in Palatine, who serves the IHSA as President of the board. At this time, please meet the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln High School, who finished the season in 3rd place with a final record of 22 wins and 8 losses. Meet the principal of Lincoln High School of East St. Louis, Mr. John Bailey, Jr. Head coach, Benny Lewis. Athletic Director, Jimmy Adams. Assistant Coach, John Morgan. Assistant Coach, Leland Seabury, Jr. And now the players. Number 10, Stanford Riley. Number 11, Maurice Horton. Number 12, Janelle Evans. Number 14, Gregory Harris. Number 21, Charles King. Number 22, Conzo Martin. Number 23, Chris McKinney. Number 25, Joseph Bolden. Number 32, Keeson Coney. Number 33, Artagus Williams. Number 42, Kenyatta Hare. Number 43, Torian Faulkner. Number 44, Rudy Hurt. And number 52, Julian Young. Assistant statistician and assistant manager, Tiffany Morgan. And manager, Vince Staten. Those are the Tigers of East St. Louis Lincoln. And now for the trophy presentations. Presenting the 4th place trophy will be Mr. Lawrence Stevens of Winona High School in Winona, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. Will Coach Jerry Leggett and the captains of Quincy Senior High School please step forward to receive the 4th place trophy. Congratulations to the Blue Devils of Quincy Senior High School, this year's 4th place finisher in Class AA. And now presenting the 3rd place trophy will be Mr. Fred Curtis of East High School in Belleville, who serves the IHSA as treasurer of the board. Will Coach Benny Lewis and the captains of East St. Louis Lincoln please step forward to receive the 4th place trophy. Mr. Curtis, if you please. Congratulations to Lincoln High School of East St. Louis, this year's 3rd place finisher.
All right, there you have it from the Assembly Hall as Quincy and East St. Louis Lincoln get their trophies. A sizzling game won by Lincoln 61-60 for 3rd place. There you see our halftime score. It's 30-28, and we'll be back in a moment. Let's pause for these messages. In the first half, Gordon Tech is within 2 of Chicago King, and Tom Kleinschmidt, the all-state 6'5" junior for Gordon Tech, shot 9 times from the field. He made 4 field goals and had 9 points in that half, but that's a young man who could get 15 shots in a half, and nobody would think any more of it than that, or even 20, because he's that good offensively.
Well, he's not only that good offensively with his own offense, but he makes things happen for his teammates. Kleinschmidt is the great leader, the heart and soul of this Gordon Tech ball club.
Let's take a look at our stats for the halftime, and you can see King shooting well, and so is Gordon Tech.
So that tells the story right there. King has stayed with them on the field goal shooting at 48%. And look at the rebounds. There's not a great deal of difference there. And only 2 turnovers by Gordon Tech.
Okay, we'll come back. But right now, let's take time out for one of your network sponsors, Country Company. The Assembly Hall is filled with thoroughbreds. One of them is King's Johnny Selvey. There's Johnny Selvey's deuce. And another, of course, Tom Kleinschmidt.
And you see Kleinschmidt coming in here getting the offensive board on a missed shot by Gillespie.
Back the other way. Once again, 6'7" senior Johnny Selvey.
Here's Anderson right here. Get the steal by Kleinschmidt. Feed. You fill the lanes nicely. Take it on a mid-hand.
We'll be back after this from one of your network sponsors, True Value Hardware. At halftime, Chicago King leads Chicago Gordon Tech by 2, and a question will be whether Rashard Griffith, the 6'11" center, will start. The answer is no now as Damian Porter comes out. How long will he stay out is the question. He had 10 first-half points.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frank, I think you've got to play this thing out with Porter in the lineup and use Griffith right at the end if you need him.
There are your leaders. Jamie Brandon with 12 leads all scorers in the game.
2-3 zone defense by Chicago King. The shot selection and patience of Gordon Tech has been a big key. That's why it's a close contest.
Will somebody make a run? Here's Kleinschmidt. He leans in on that one. And Brandon rebounds. 1/2 of basketball to decide the state AA championship. Lob inside. Selvey's free.
That's what they were looking for in that closing portion of the first half, was to block, put the post of Selvey and Porter at the blocks down low and try to go inside.
Gillespie is swatted away by Selvey. Selvey playing in the middle. Schofield to the glass. Blocked by Kleinschmidt. Great defensive work on both ends. 4-on-2. Gordon Tech. Yeah.
Big swing right there. Good defense by Selvey at his defensive end, and then Kleinschmidt came back and showed you excellent timing with his block.
Goal by Gillespie. 2 points. King lead. Brandon sets a pick. Sharif double team. Jamie Brandon's open.
Jamie Brandon's going to have to become more active in the lane as he's demonstrated in earlier games, Frank.
Kleinschmidt plays up on the top. Brian Allen, a 3.
Big basket there. It's amazing. When he took that shot, he had 1 offensive rebounder underneath.
Sharif on the fly is held. Tell you what, if you give him a baton, Sharif would beat most people down this court.
I'll tell you what, he is an excellent athlete. He has great quickness. He and Mike Lamar Rudd from Quincy seem to have that extra after jet, that extra burner that they can go to.
If you're wondering about the Gordon Tech bench, I was watching Bernard Hobson during the warm-ups at halftime, and he is pretty ginger on that ankle, and I don't know if they'll be able to use him or not. If they have to, they might.
He's a big contributor.
So injuries play a factor here in this final day of the 1990 AA tournament.
Sharif drills a pair. And King by 3. Plays D. Allen skips it to Starr. He's got a pop on the way. Starr's got it back. Now the Jaguars. Their mission started here in their loss to Lincoln last year. They haven't lost since. 31-0. Schofield. Selvey lost it.
Selvey was trying to gather. He couldn't find the handle on the ball, and when he dropped down to gather it, he lost it entirely.
Starr gave him a little bump, too. That helped.
Jareem Anderson, 32. Gives Allen a rest. Remember, second game today. 3rd and 2. Kleinschmidt, 3. A foul on Sharif.
Only going to give 3 shots for that.
Well, they give 2 shots on a foul for a 2-point goal, but you're saying 3 for 3, huh?
That's right. That's what I'm saying. It's got to, it's got merit, because at the end of the ball game, it enters into the coaching aspect of it.
There is one level where they do give 3. The CBA, the Continental Basketball Association, they give 3 shots if you're fouled on a 3-point attempt.
Simple logic to simple coach.
Are we supposed to disagree now?
I took your silence as agreement.
Kleinschmidt, another. He pulls the Rams within 1. They pressure on the full court. Sharif, too quick. All the way. Ooh, it wouldn't go. But Kleinschmidt got him, I believe. It's a 2-shot foul.
He can block. That's as good an effort to try to finish it off as there is. I mean, only the foul kept him from scoring here. Really gets great acceleration up the floor, and then great vertical jumping right here. Just gets up nicely.
He just explodes down the court.
Exactly.
He hit a couple just a moment ago, and he's back there again.
Kleinschmidt with 2 fouls, Frank.
Sharif looks for his 6th point. Kleinschmidt, like a coach on the floor. Star, a 3. Selvey glides through the air.
Man-to-man pressure at half court put on by Gordon Tech. That's their trademark defensively.
It looks like if both teams play their own tempo, Kings wants it a little slower. Inside, high-low, Selvey puts it in.
We saw that attempted to be executed in the first half. Selvey's got a little bit of a bad habit of wanting to put the ball down on the floor when he catches inside. Maybe that's been a problem he's had.
Jason Bay plays left wing. A double Kleinschmidt. Stars open again. He missed. And Brandon runs. Selvey has hit his last 5 field goal attempts. And Johnny is there. He's got another.
That might be the biggest lead of the game for Chicago King.
And he's playing on the low block because Griffith is out with 4 fouls.
A timeout here by
and a timeout for Steve Pappas and the Rams. We'll come back. Now this from one of your network sponsors, the Illinois Pork Producers. Johnny Selvey missed his first 2 field goal attempts of this game, but since has hit 6 straight.
But King is making a statement. We're going to post our big guys up and go inside, and it's been successful, giving them a little bit of a run here to jump out to a 7-point lead.
You know, Coach, it was good to see Doug Collins stop by and say hello. He looks like he could still play.
I'll tell you what, could he play?
And somebody slip a uniform right on him. Gordon Tech had a good timeout. Now they need to get something productive on this offensive time.
They've demonstrated in time and time again in this tournament patience.
This half, King 67% on 4 of 6.
And Gordon Tech has fallen off from that 50 to 25%.
King can, to win a tournament, to win a key game, you have to ask your athletes to step up. You have to ask the team to do that. King can turn it up a notch. So can Gordon Tech, and that's what makes these games so thrilling.
I'll tell you what, good shooting covers up for a lot of other mistakes, and Gordon Tech has fallen off here lately in this third quarter.
There's a guy, Gillespie, who hasn't had the ball in his hands much on offense, and he got fouled.
The official just told Ahmad Sharif, it's my call.
Yeah.
I'll make the call. Yeah. Don't you say anything about it.
Well, that's the frustration you can understand from Sharif, because it's really a tripping type of call, created as much by the penetrating offensive man as the defender standing there, but something has to be called.
Kleinschmidt's expression never changes. Anderson's 32. He's on the right wing there.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because whenever I look at him, I think that if Norman Rockwell had been a basketball player, it probably looked like that, because he looks like that.
Tech runs the play. 4:06 to play, third quarter. Gordon Tech trying to break up a King run and a turnover. Damian Porter got his hand on the ball. King, as deep as the Red Sea, now has Porter at the high post. Shot out of his range. Rebound. Anderson.
I think he was looking high-low first. I think shot was his second option and not the one he really wanted.
Let's see if Gordon Tech goes to Kleinschmidt here. Ball kicked away.
Over and back, possibly.
Schofield played the good D. Anderson's open. That's a 3 on the way. They're not getting the shots out of the people they normally do. King answers. Selby's in.
Nice pass from Sharif, and Selby showed some body control as he went in there. A little off balance, but he gathered himself and scored.
Not a bad pass from Schofield either.
Schofield made a super pass to save the ball.
14 for Selby. Brandon has the same number. Kleinschmidt answers.
That's the guy that's answered for Gordon Tech every time throughout this tournament to stop an opponent's run. Hobson is going to give it a try, fellas.
Might even be a psychological lift for the Rams. Brandon's on the baseline and wide open. You usually have to pay for that. The Rams didn't that time. But Selby steals. Long time in the lane.
Oh, there's some people camped in the lane, Frank.
And a foul on the Rams.
Some people camped in the lane. I think the action becomes so fast and furious out there that the officials once in a while just get to watching it and forget that people are just posted in there. Look at the people in the lane. Selby's in the lane, in the lane, in the lane.
Damian Porter is a 270-pounder. He's a 59% foul shooter for the season. He doesn't, you know, the guys that the Lipniskis of the world make it look so simple.
Oh, easy, yeah.
And sometimes the form just isn't there, the rhythm isn't there.
When I see a fellow this big, I just hope he's got a good disposition.
And he made 1 of 2. King's lead is 8. Clock moves to 2:30, third quarter. Kleinschmidt puts it in gear. There's Hobson, who's in with that ankle. His shot doesn't go. Kleinschmidt does.
Kleinschmidt over the top, maybe got by with a little over the back situation, but you know, I think the good ones get a little bit of a break.
He knew he couldn't control it, so he tipped it back up with his left hand and then got the rebound from that.
Inside Brandon. And a good player takes advantage. He posted up. He was in the lane too, but he just got the ball down there on the block and wheeled it in.
Talk about the cream coming to the top in the last 2 possessions. Kleinschmidt and Brandon show why their teams are in a championship affair, Frank.
30 points between Selby and Brandon. Kleinschmidt a 3. Boom. He's got 5 in 2 trips. He's gotten his team within 5.
He's done it the entire tournament.
Tremendous skills.
King showing a little patience here, still posting Porter and Selby on the blocks down low.
Landon Cox reminds you this is a senior team. Brandon.
What do we say about the cream coming to the top? It's Jamie Brandon, Tom Kleinschmidt show right now.
They each have 18 points. Nice fake and go. And a wild shot. Stewart couldn't get it down.
With 1 minute left, you might think King would milk it a little bit with a 7-point lead.
Schofield. Sharif. Porter needs to give it up. Richard Griffith, the starting center, got 4 fouls early. He got his 4th with 2:44 in the second quarter and hasn't been back.
Porter and Selby will flash to the angles, catch, and look back door, look for a cutting Jamie Brandon.
The Rams trying for a big defensive stop. Brandon gets free for a shot. No. Gillespie rebounds. I think Gordon Tech wants to go for 1. You would think it'll be Kleinschmidt.
Well, he's working the baseline now. They're going to try to run him around, maybe get a 3 from him.
and they lose the ball.
Last 2 times down the floor, they've had 2 turnovers, which has been uncharacteristic of a Gordon Tech team. Even with their transition game, Frank.
It's under 6 seconds. From half court, Brandon hit the rim, and the rebound is as time expires. At the end of 3, King by 7 for the state championship. We'll be back. Let's pause for these messages. Interesting Assembly Hall.
More filled Assembly Hall than we've seen in recent years. It's got to be pleasing to the IHSA members and its directors.
As far as the individual scoring race in this tournament, Kleinschmidt now through the first 3 quarters and the first 3 games has 116 points, and Brandon 99. So Kleinschmidt ahead in that regard.
You're seeing the scoring leaders, the headline players for each team, 18 apiece. Brandon and Gillespie each with 9 rebounds also to lead in those departments. That's Antoine Gillespie of Gordon Tech.
Frank, one thing that King has not demonstrated in this tournament in recent years is the ability to take care of the ball and to take care of it with a marginal lead.
What they're going to try to do now is try to get on top of Tech and put them away. Porter, nice soft touch, but it missed everything. Rebound, Selvey walking first.
Kleinschmidt was leaning on Porter and vice versa. That was a war down there.
You don't want Porter to lean back on you. All right, Gordon Tech.
2-3 zone defense again by King.
Kleinschmidt. Coaches say he's the 4th quarter man. He missed that, but Gillespie got his 10th rebound, and a jump ball as Selvey had the good hands on it.
Possession to Gordon Tech. You know, you're going to have to, King is going to have to be very active in their 2-3 zone.
Lob to the goal for Allen. Bay's got it. 2.
Had to go over Porter, too.
Jason Bay at 6'1". Put it down. It's a 5-point game. Chuck Fisher said last year, you think it's not hard to win a state championship? Think again. We played into 3 overtimes with a great team and still got turned away.
Right. See the post up here. Selvey's out. Try to move him back in and post him up.
Brandon sealed on the baseline. Good D that time by the Rams. Reasonably low-scoring game, as many championships are.
Many times they are.
Schofield. Oh, he threw it to Gillespie, went through his hands. Porter saved it, and he shouldn't have.
Should not have. It was going to be King's basketball. This is what I said earlier. They have a tough time taking care of the ball.
Gillespie missed, and Selvey swooped for the rebound. He's got some kind of jet-propelled pack on him.
Coach Cox wants a timeout. He's not happy with what he sees, and there's a lot of basketball time left.
He sees King with a 5-point lead. Let's take time for one of your network sponsors, Country Companies.
11,300.
793 high schools in Illinois, and all of them would like to be one of these 2 playing for the top prize in high school sports.
Certainly the epitome of sports for the basketball player in the state of Illinois to get down here to the Assembly Hall and certainly to have the chance to play in the championship game.
Just for a second, let's salute all the college, the high school competitors and all the things. The band. My son was involved in math competition. The state's got contributions in all areas from these young people. And I'll tell you what, they all deserve a lot of credit for the effort they put in.
You bet they do, Frank.
All right, this is for all of it. 5:55 to go. King with the ball. Brandon got rid of it. Schofield spots up.
Neither team is in the bonus.
Griffith back in the game. Tipped at the rebound. Kleinschmidt running 2-on-2. He's got it. He's got the hands. Oh my, Hobson let one fly. Rebound Gillespie. No.
Could have got a technical maybe for hitting the glass there on that shot, but Hobson was a little short on his 3-pointer. I'll tell you what, Tom Kleinschmidt is a horse, a bull, a big one inside.
Hobson shot about a 22-footer.
Numerous turnovers by King trying to take care of the thing here late to go.
Hobson's going to come out because Pappas did not want the big man to take the long shot out front. But you know, when you're 16 and 17, you get it pumping, and you kind of forget those little things.
That's right. So they can put it down for him. And neither team's in a bonus, so both teams can waste some fouls if need be here.
Kleinschmidt shadowed by Sharif. And a foul on King.
What makes the King zone so tough is those two guards. When you get at high post, they automatically drop back. And if you're thinking about, you know, putting the ball down and going to the basket, they're there.
You can't put it down. You got to keep the ball above, you know, above the waist. Keep it away from him.
Kleinschmidt kicks it in. Gets right back in bounds. A three on the way. King going to work on the glass. That was Brandon. Under 5 minutes to play. It's been 49-44 for a while. Brandon, long. Oh, Selvey barges in for two.
That's what we talked about at the top of the game when we talked about the keys. Staying with King on the boards. You can't let him have the offensive board. Jamie's wheeling and dealing, sometimes gets two. Here's the missed shot. An active Johnny Selvey may have got by with an offensive foul, Frank.
I'll tell you what, something cleared Kleinschmidt out of there because he went flying.
You got to make contact to clear Kleinschmidt out of there.
Free throw, Selvey. A run of 8 in a row field goals for Johnny Selvey. He's got 17.
Selvey just gives an opponent a stomach ache, just constantly there banging and banging on the boards.
Kleinschmidt pushes it up and in.
Kid has great hanging ability. Almost a contortionist when he gets up there.
It's a 6-point game. 4:22 left. Brandon. King has been on a mission. They've announced it. They've let everybody know. And they said it in December.
Both teams now in the bonus situation. Taking a little bit better care of the ball right now.
Man-to-man all the way for Gordon Tech.
And Jamie Brandon has the ball. They give to the high post. Look for give and goes. Back door.
Selvey's their outlet. Brandon trying to free himself away from the ball. There's the clock. That's in the game.
All kinds of time left. The Kings doing the wise thing. Their greatest enemy right now are the ticks on the clock.
There's this near steal by the Rams and a foul called from the trail official. It's like on Keith Starr.
See a wise choice to put at the line at this point in time, Mr. Bassoni?
Yes, Rashard Griffith, 59%. Same numbers as Porter.
The big guys don't hit him with regular frequency here.
It's a miss, but a rebound to Brandon. And once again, offensive rebound.
Exactly. Offensive rebound, and Jamie Brandon seemed to rebound that thing across the lane as he just drew it in with his left hand.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Gordon Tech has acquitted themselves awfully well, and they're in this game and may yet win it. I remember one coach said when have you got a chance to win? He said, sure, we're the only other team out there, but they're serious here. This is for the wire.
You know, it's an obvious, a given. You can't win it unless you're playing it, and they're playing it. They're there, and they've been there the entire evening, and there's a lot of basketball left with 3:29.
Number 3 career scorer in Illinois high school history, Jamie Brandon, gets his team a 53-46 lead. Mr. Kleinschmidt up on top. Starr posts up, wants the ball inside. Brandon's behind him.
Jamie's barking out defensive quarterback commands.
Nice touch by Gillespie. A 5-point game again as Gillespie gets it down. He takes the pressure off Kleinschmidt there. Brandon sends it into Griffith. He's playing high post. They'll cut off of him.
Again, King wants to get some ticks off the clock.
Jamie, just nice. We see the body control hanging in the air. That's 21 for Brandon. He averages 26. Now the clock. There's the ball loose. Brian Allen with it. Under 2:30 now.
Travel.
Oh, costly turnover against the Rams.
They had some tough turnovers in the second half during the run and created part of the run.
It's timeout for Gordon Tech at 2:27 left. And we'll be back. Now this from one of your network sponsors, True Value Hardware. One of the best entertainment values around. Attendance at the tournament. Yesterday, over 20,000. This afternoon and this evening, more than 11,000 paid here for 43,370. The IHSA thanks you for your attendance and watching this tournament, too.
Best crowd since 1985 in AA.
For A and AA together, nearly 95,000 paid in 2 weekends of excitement. It's called March Madness.
We're down to crunch time here.
There's your scoring leaders, Kleinschmidt and Brandon.
Gordon Tech has to gamble, turn up the defensive heat, and try to make something happen, try to create some turnovers. They got to pull out all the stops now, Frank.
King with the ball, 2:10 to play. They lead 55-48. They've got the hammer. They'll be very patient. Gordon Tech will have to make a foul. Sharif. Yes!
Nice execution on the part of Chicago King. Milked some time and finished it off with a layup.
Kleinschmidt. Triple team.
They need to put the threes up. Kleinschmidt's got to find it out there.
Sharif crowds him. 1:42 left. Bay tries to find an opening. It's Kleinschmidt. It's 3.
Home. They're setting the picks for Kleinschmidt, trying to free him up out at the three-point range, and that's their only hope right now.
1:33 in a 6-point game. Let's pause for these messages. In the last couple of years, the three-point rule has allowed this to be a game where 2 shots could decide.
Right, here's a give and go. Finished off here. Nice execution of the delay offense by King. Then we come back and we see the three-point shot, successful shot by Tom Kleinschmidt coming off a pick off the baseline back up to the top. And Gordon Tech is within 2 of those and tying this championship affair.
Having some fun. The 3 was incorporated in the 87-88 season and in the tournament in 88. Timeout. King has 3 left. The Rams but 1. 1:32. That's Sharif. Sharif and Brandon, a couple of the better foul shooters for King. The big guy, one of the weaker ones. Schofield got fouled that time by Bay. Schofield is a 64%er. There's still plenty of time.
Oh, plenty of time. As I say, there's an eternity in the game when you take in the fact that you got that three-point shot nowadays, Frank, and you can score points as this young man possibly can at the free throw line with the clock dead. All kinds of time with 1:23 and only a 6-point difference.
Fred Schofield stepped right up.
You heard what Sonny Cox said if you joined us for the pregame show. He said he doesn't even remember or think about the first state championship in '86. This is the one he's talking about.
Up ahead. Brian Allen catches it back to Gillespie. He's got a pop that comes out.
That might be the ball game right there. It's a tough one not to get.
All but in. 1:15 left. Fred Schofield, the guy that hits the free throws, tells the coach he doesn't even want to start. He likes to come off the bench. Coach says, but we need him.
Maybe hectic down at the end, gentlemen. I want to thank you for taking me by the hand through this again. I've enjoyed it.
And I'd like to take a moment to thank our crew, led by Joe Page, Jerry Wheatley, Jan Morrow, the superb people at the IHSA, and my fellow broadcasters and analysts, too. As usual, a pleasure and privilege to work the great state championships. Kleinschmidt. Oh, nice steal by Sharif.
He's a big play player.
Brandon gets free. Brandon in.
Sharif's amazing. He timed that pass. That ball was about 8 feet up in the air. Down 8 feet, he went up and got it.
Under a minute. Gordon Tech has to shoot the threes. Kleinschmidt has one on the way. No.
King fans can begin celebrating now.
And I'll tell you what, they did it without the razzle-dazzle and the spread floor and running up and down. Whenever they got those opportunities, they took them. But if they said, hey, you want to play half court? Fine. We'll stick the big guys down low. And Selby's had a great game, guys. He really has. Outstanding game. He has been the force inside, and hats off to Chicago King for being a very disciplined, patient ball club in this championship affair.
It was 81 when Quincy was undefeated, 33-0, and also finished rated #1 in the nation. King can duplicate that tonight. Selby rebounds. Johnny Selby missed. Griffith didn't.
That's been the story of this ball game right there, the offensive board.
Under 35 seconds. The three misses. Bay rebounds. Starr missed. Kleinschmidt battles it, steps in, puts it down. 10-point difference, 22 seconds, and we'll take a break. We'll be right back to finish this game. Now this from one of your network sponsors, Country Company. Coach, went down to the Salem shootout in December 16th, and my son RJ said, Dad, I don't think King will lose a game all year. It looks like he's right. Jamie Brandon.
He indeed was right.
Kleinschmidt running 10 seconds. On the other end, Jamie Brandon's signature.
He'll take the technical. That's no problem for him.
The acrobatic reverse dunk, and he got the tee for hanging on the rim, and the celebration is on for Chicago King.
Yeah, that T stands for tremendous.
Yeah. There's the numbers on what may be Mr. Basketball performance in his final high school game. 25 points and 12 boards.
Jamie Brandon can do it all. He's just been an outstanding performer for his 4 years at Chicago King. He's matured into quite an athlete. Can do things inside, outside, just great versatility. This young man here has another senior year coming at Gordon Tech. And is that something to look forward to by Steve Pappas?
I know they have a tough way to come, but with this guy in that junior class, don't be surprised. Want to take a look at Brandon's dunk?
You can do this if there's some defense underneath that you have to avoid falling into, but you can't do it in a celebration attitude, and that's what he did.
He's just getting used to playing here at Illinois. You got to know the rims. You know that.
All right.
3 seconds, 2. There's the last. Oh, there's 0.8 of a tick left. The official numbers are all that matters now. Kleinschmidt steals it at the horn, fires a 3. Mission accomplished. At the end of the game, the team wins the state championship. The final score is 65.
Thank you.
There you have it. Chicago King taking a moment together to celebrate a perfect journey through a tough public league season and a state championship. 32-0. Gordon Tech finishes their year 30-2, losing December the 1st to De La Salle and losing in the last game of the year.
Well, when you've won 4 of the last 5 Chicago Public League championships, that's reason enough to say you're a pretty darn good basketball team. But then to make 2 state championships out of it in between that run by East St. Louis Lincoln, that's what it's been, Frank. King, East St. Louis Lincoln 3 times, and then King again.
Gentlemen, a fine championship contest, one that was in question and doubt down to the final minutes of play.
You bet it was. King led at the quarter by 2 and at the half by 2, and then 7-point advantage at the end of 3, 49-42, and with their overwhelming strength held off a very good Gordon Tech basketball team, but only by 10. And as you indicated, a couple of shots one way or the other
with those threes, then it's a different game.
Certainly, right down to the finish, you got that opportunity with the 3-point.
And I don't think King shot as well as they usually do, Brandon, especially from the outside. I mean, I've seen him when he doesn't miss at all, but the inside game is what keyed it, and that's what most people expected. If they got it inside, they'd win, and they did get it inside.
It was the offensive boards.
There's Jamie Brandon, and there's the pride of Illinois for 1990. As you see, the winners, King, second to Tech, and then East St. Louis Lincoln finished third. Quincy, the Blue Devils in Jerry Leggett's last game at Quincy, finished fourth. That's hard. You'd be hard-pressed to find 4 better high school basketball teams in any state.
Outstanding. I think it maybe a finish that many anticipated coming into the season with King's power coming back from a year ago. They've certainly answered the critics and come away with the state title.
As you can see, the team is gathering together because there'll be some award ceremonies coming up. You're looking at the seniors there and talking with the IHSA officials and each other. What a moment.
There's so many victories along the way here, and Gordon Tech has a lot of those victories. I mean, just the sectional that they got out of with Westchester St. Joe and Proviso West, and then to win the super sectional and to win that first tough game here in the quarterfinals against Rolling Meadows, a game that they very well could have seen go the other way, and then to beat Quincy this afternoon. And hey, there's only one. That's the way it's set up. Only one person can win.
The 5th appearance in the AA Sweet 16 for Gordon Tech will be remembered for a long, long time as they finished 30-2. And a remarkable team of athletes, and there's Tom Wienecke, the athletic director and football coach over there with them, and it's a very proud moment for that team too. And you know, it takes that shock of loss, it wears off then, and then the teams reflect on what they accomplished, and then the smiles come back.
Well, certainly, you know, when you get to this point in time, you certainly anticipate you're going to win the state championship. There's some tears on the Gordon Tech bench at this point in time, but given a couple of days and to reflect, as you say, Frank, on the season, they're certainly going to be proud of their accomplishments, and it's going to stand well with the underclassmen led by Tom Kleinschmidt as they return to the 1990-91 season. You know, you got to experience these tough losses before probably you can experience the great wins. And how many great individual basketball players in any state get to finish out on top? Well, Jamie Brandon and Mr. Selvey do. And don't forget about Ahmad Rashad. He was, Ahmad Sharif, I thought he was a key both this afternoon and tonight.
Look at some of that King celebration.
I always say, you know, they answered the critics. You know, when you're #1 all year, and of course there was a little controversy with the questionable use of a player that the Illinois High School Association ruled was eligible. All those things were tough on them.
Now we're ready for the award ceremonies. Here's Steve Adams.
Ladies and gentlemen, we direct your attention to midcourt for the presentation of the first and second place team and individual awards for the boys Class AA State Basketball Tournament. Presenting medallions to the squad members of the second place team will be Mr. Thomas Howard of Fremd High School in Palatine, who serves the IHSA as president of the board, and Mr. Lawrence Stevens of Winona High School in Winona, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. At this time, please meet the Rams of Chicago Gordon Tech, who finished the season in second place with a final record of 30 wins and 2 losses. Meet the athletic director of Gordon Tech High School, Mr. Tom Wienecke. Head coach, Steve Pappas. Assistant coach, Merle Siefkin. Assistant coach, Al Stasiak. Assistant Athletic Director, Reverend Edward Dubell. Head Manager, Sean Donahue. And now the players. Number 4, Mark Jurasic. Number 10, Damian Walker. Number 12, Peter Jimenez. Number 14, Jason Bay. Number 20, Arthur Molson. Number 22, Brian Allen. Number 24, Arthur Stewart. Number 30, Antoine Gillespie. Number 32, Jareem Anderson. Number 34, Tom Kleinschmidt. Number 40, Scott Gerner. Number 42, Keith Starr. Number 50, Kevin Powers. Number 52, Anthony McGowan. And number 54, Bernard Hobson. Those are the Rams of Gordon Tech High School of Chicago. And now, presenting medallions to the squad members of the first place team will be Ms. Lynn St. James of Lindblom High School in Chicago, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board, and Mr. Edward Roberts of Oak Forest High School in Oak Forest, who serves the IHSA as a member of the board. At this time, meet the Jaguars of Chicago King, who finished the season in first place with a final record of 32 wins and no losses. Meet the principal of King High School, Dr. Richard Smith. Head coach, Landon Cox. Assistant coach, Benny Parrott. Assistant coach, Orman O'Quinn. And now the players, Jamie Brandon. Number 20, Johnny Selvey. Number 13, Ahmed Sharif. Number 10, Fred Schofield. Number 54, Rashard Griffith. Number 32, Sylvester Ware. Number 24, Anton Little. Number 22, Gerard Billingsley. Number 30, Thomas Hamilton. Number 31, Damian Porter. Number 11, Michael Irvin. Number 15, Anthony King. Number 25, Noah Miller. Manager, Curtis Thomas. Manager, Denard Crawford. Manager, John Coleman. And manager, Tony White. Those are the Jaguars of Martin Luther King High School of Chicago. And now for the trophy presentation. Presenting the second place trophy will be Mr. Leroy Newton of Carterville High School in Carterville, who serves the IHSA as Vice President of the board. Will Coach Steve Pappas and the captains of Gordon Tech High School of Chicago please step forward to receive the second place trophy. Congratulations to Chicago Gordon Tech, this year's runner-up in Class AA. And now presenting the first place trophy will be Mr. L.L. Astroff, who serves the IHSA as Executive Secretary. Will Coach Landon Cox and and the captains of King High School please step forward to receive the championship trophy? And there it is, this year's state champion in Class AA, Chicago King.
That trophy will reside at 4445 South Drexel Boulevard in Chicago, home of King High School. And, you know, Coach, I have this question to ask you. Is this one of the all-time best teams in Illinois high school history? And if so, how does it rank? You think of Thornridge in 72, of Quincy in 81. How does this one rank?
Well, you know, those kinds of debates and arguments make for good discussions in the local taverns and bars and so forth. That's always a hard question to answer, but not to hedge on it. Jamie Brandon is certainly as good a ball player as we've seen in the Assembly Hall. He can do so many things. And they had enough ingredients to get the job done as a team and win this state championship. And obviously, it may be one of the best that Illinois has produced because they've been rated #1 nationally in prep ranks.
Jamie Brandon is one of the seniors, of course, and Landon Cox has said all year the senior base will make this team great, and it did with Brandon and Selby being their leaders. Those two young men started 4 consecutive years for King, and they really paid off. And Jamie Brandon led the way at 25 tonight. Let's go to the floor. There's Art Kimball.
Hey, Cox, the coach of the King Jaguars. Sonny, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your ball club went out there tonight against a Gordon Tech team that obviously very, very solid. You just made the comment to me off the air, your kids did what you thought they had to do.
Yes, we have overcome a lot of trials and tribulations. I think they came through in a marvelous fashion.
This is a trite question, but was there a point in the ball game where you thought it turned in your favor?
I thought we were going to win all the time, you know. But I thought that as poorly as we played in the first half, I thought, and we were still 2 points up, I knew we were going to get better in the third quarter. We've been coming back in the third quarter all year.
I thought you did a real good job on Tom Kleinschmidt tonight, Sonny. He did not get the number of shots he normally gets, for one thing.
Well, it's the competition. You know, I told you that at the beginning of the year. We played a hell of a schedule this year, you know, and that helped us, you know, and we overcame a lot of the things that they did. Not only Kleinschmidt, we also overcame the officiating that wouldn't let us get close enough to guard them. We wanted to play some tougher defense than we played, but they wouldn't let us do that. So we had to the officiating, see. And I think we did okay.
Damian Porter gave you a couple of good pinch hit efforts in this tournament down in Champaign because Big Griffith got in foul trouble early again tonight.
Well,
that may be what you're talking about.
You're right. Griffin was just standing up there at one time. They called the foul on him. But Damian started all year for us last year. He just did his job. You know, he's paid his dues, and he did his job.
Your ball club, out of the half-court offense, seems to me to be almost unstoppable. It seems if you like to run, of course, but you go half-court, seems like you always get the bucket.
We can play a lot of different ways. We prepare for the state tournament a lot of ways, you know. So if they play slow, we can play slow.
Jamie, come on in here.
Full court, 94 feet, or half court. Right. You know, we can play any way you want to play.
Sonny, congratulations again. I know it's been a tough drive. You won the title in '86, and congratulations for a second one.
All right, thank you.
Let's call in Jamie Brandon here for just a moment. Jamie, congratulations. This is what you were shooting for, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been waiting for it for 4 years. I really wanted to win it. It's just a happy feeling.
Well, it certainly is, and this game tonight was almost the epitome of a team effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, we had to keep our momentum up. They was trying to come back a little bit. I had to keep my big man in the game, Johnny Selby. We had to hit the boards. We was letting them get loose rebounds in the first half. Coach told us to work hard on the boards, and we'll win.
What was halftime like with Sonny? He said he wasn't real happy with your first half. I imagine he reminded you of that.
No, he was arguing at us, saying they kept getting rebounds. So we came out, played harder on defense. I kept my big man in the game, and we won the game. That's all I can say.
Was Kleinschmidt your defensive responsibility by and large?
Yeah, Coach told us to keep an eye on Kleinschmidt. He's a great player. I give him all the respect in the world. He's a good shooter. I really admire him.
You fellas got that break going and got it going brilliantly, and certainly you had to be delighted with... you didn't get it that many times against this club, but you converted every time down.
Well, the whole tournament, teams been stopping our fast break. We worked on it a little bit before we came down here. We just won the game. We played hard.
Jamie, congratulations. You won every honor imaginable. Chicago Area Player of the Year, certainly All-State, and your ball club been ranked #1 in the nation. Just a great year. Good luck to you. You're going to play with the Illini, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing with the Lightning next year. Players like Marcus Liberty and Rennie Clemens.
You think those guys will get the ball to you a little bit? You'll have to get it to them as a freshman, won't you? Jamie, congratulations. Great job.
Thanks a lot.
Jamie Brandon of the Chicago King State Champions. And here's a young man, Tom Kleinschmidt from Gordon Tech. Tom is only a junior, and before we talk about next year, you're probably already looking forward to that, but a great ball game out there on your part.
Thanks a lot. You know, we did our hardest. You know, we came out. We weren't intimidated. You know, they too big for us, that's all.
Yeah, they're very strong physically, and there's just not a lot of space to operate inside, is there?
No, you know, they got Rashad and Johnny. They got, you know, 6'9" kid come off the bench, but we did our best, you know. So we'll be back next year.
Tom, I don't want to dwell on this because I talked about with Sonny Cox and also with Jamie Brandon. You didn't get your normal number of shots tonight. That probably was sort of a credit to their defense.
Right. They threw Maj Sharif at me and Fred Schofield, throwing two guys at me. You know, I had to move to the point, you know, because of the gimmick defense. But, you know, I'm not going to blame it on that. You know, we just got beat too bad on the board.
Well, I want you folks out there who know Tom Kleinschmidt and also know his dad. Here's a kid that came from an official's background. Your dad was one of the great officials in the state, and you learn anything from him?
Yeah, he taught, you know, he's the guy that taught me everything.
Well, I'm kidding, but you learned how not to foul, right?
Right, yeah.
Tom, thank you so much. One final question. You're only a junior already. Looking forward to next year. Is that out of line to ask you that?
No, we're ready to come back down next year.
Good luck to you. Nice job. Tom Kleinschmidt, the standout performer, certainly for Gordon Tech among many. And here's Steve Pappas, the coach of the Gordon Tech Rams. And Steve, great ball game, great season.
Yeah, it was a great season. It's I told the kids we're not going to recap it in the room right now, and you know, they set a new standard for basketball at our school, and we represented the league very well, and we represented our school very well and themselves. You know, very proud of these young men. Last time we lost was December 1st, so it's been a long time, 3.5 months since we have lost, and we didn't lose to a lesser team, certainly. I give them a lot of credit. They're a great champion team. But I give our kids a lot of credit for being right in the game with 1:30 to go, and we just didn't get over the hump.
Much has been written, much has been said about Chicago King. They've been ranked #1 in the country most of the season, still are, I think deservedly. From a coaching standpoint, just highlight a couple of the problems you have to be concerned with.
Well, normally when you play a team, you have to concentrate on an inside guy or an outside guy, or maybe one tough inside guy and one decent outside guy. The thing with King is they give you 5, you know, quality players, 4 Division I type prospects, big-time size, and a guy like Brandon. And clearly Schofield is a very underrated player because he handles the ball without making any turnovers. You know, and again, you know, they give you the whole package. And so you have to play nearly a perfect game to beat them. Obviously, nobody's been able to do that this year. You know, we came about as close as we could tonight. You know, again, we you know, you got to give them all the credit in the world. It's a great team.
This Florida night was a showcase for some tremendous basketball individual talent. Your club and, of course, Kings and the third place game. A lot of great players out here tonight.
Well, I think the whole weekend was great. You had great players like Brandon Cole out here, and you had the Quincy kids and Lipnitsky. I think clearly everybody was treated to some great Illinois high school basketball, and we were certainly glad to be part of it. And we're hoping to come back next year. You know, we have a great junior group and some young kids coming up that, you know, now we have a goal, and that's next year we can come back here and maybe win the darn thing.
Mr. Pappas, congratulations. Great year, fine effort. Good to see you.
Thanks very much. Okay. Thank you very much.
Steve Pappas, the coach at Gordon Tech. Now let's get back to Frank Bassoni. Frank?
Thank you very much, Art. In the aftermath of King's victory here, Coach Mel Rustio, any final thoughts on this championship game?
Well, they did what they had to do to win. They controlled the boards, especially the offensive boards. They went there. We knew at the top of the game that was the strength of a King ball club, that they could go to the boards, and they did that. Gordon Tech, I thought, did a fine job in controlling the tempo of the contest. They didn't get out of kilt with an upbeat tempo. But it was a great championship game, Frank, one that I think Gordon Tech will reflect upon and be proud of, and certainly King is immensely proud.
A showcase for some great players across. We'll talk about all tournament names in the press tomorrow and all of that, but Tom Kleinschmidt and Jamie Brandon you heard from. There was Lipnitsky, a great performer in the game. Chris McKinney and Conzo Martin from East St. Louis Lincoln were here. Brandon Cole, Todd Wemhamer. That goes on and on. Ahmad Sharif was one of the better players in the game. The star-studded field just gets better every year in the state.
It was an outstanding field. We had 2 premier ball players in the game tonight that were the heart and soul of the ball club, in Kleinschmidt and Jamie Brandon. And that's what it takes for a team to get down here. They have to have a great leader, and every team that came down here in the Elite Eight had that leader.
We've got to almost close here, but we have to say a final word about a final game for a friend of yours at Quincy, Jerry Leggett, too.
Well, we do, and he closes out an illustrious career, one that will stand as a trademark for him.
Thank you very much, Coach, and Jim Albrecht. For our crew, this is Frank Bissoni speaking from the Assembly Hall in Champaign-Urbana, where 11,340 paid to see Chicago King defeat Gordon Tech 65-55. And here are the final four. Quincy finished fourth. East St. Louis Lincoln finished third. Gordon Tech finished second. And the winners with a perfect 32-0, Chicago King. Until next year, this is Frank Bissoni thanking you. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching another championship event.